I want to start using materials inside of my shape creation and just animation sequence inside of Blender to give me a little bit more control over how my colors are being used in my final illustration in animation. I want to show you some of the details of how this system works. It's a little bit different than using the vertex coloring system that we've explored previously, so let's jump in and take a look. Now, previously what we've been working with is that we've been working with the vertex color painting system. So I'm just opening up my little circle tool here. I'm going to make the radius a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And then, of course, naturally, right here inside of our interface is the tool that allows us to work with vertex colors. So if we click on this little color swatch here, let's just, I don't know, grab it to be blue. Now, let's just make a shape. And then voila, we have a blue circle. It's taking this vertex color and it's using that vertex color and applying it to all the dots that are being used to create this circle itself. Now, the cool thing about the vertex color system is that it's easy to use. It's just a fast way to throw down some color. However, that kind of is the limit to its functionality. It's just an easy way to make colored strokes and some very, very, very simple colored fills. Perhaps we want to work in a system that's a little bit more robust, that uses a library of tools and presets, if you will, to help us create a repeatable, consistent, colorized experience inside of Blender. So let's start working with materials. I'm going to draw another shape now using materials. And now I'm going to click on this button. I'm still going to work with a simple shape, but now I'm working with a material. I'm applying this material, or I'm applying the default material to the stroke that I set down. The default one is solid stroke. I'll show you that here in a second. So let me just make a solid stroke here. And voila, I got a black one and a blue one. The blue one was the vertex color, the black one's the material. Let me show you the power of how all of this works. So what's cool about working with materials and objects that were created with a material is that we can change the way this black sphere looks after the fact. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go into edit mode. Let me confirm my shape creation. Go into edit mode here real fast. And now I'm going to travel over into my tool properties on the right hand side. And specifically, I'm looking for that same little sphere beach ball looking icon that we used before. Because this represents our material library. This is the environment in which we manage, create, and edit all the materials that are active inside of our Blender project file. And you can see that with the 2D animation workspace preset, it comes with four different material presets already applied for us, which is already available to us, which is pretty neat. Let me show you the power of this and why it's neat. So I have my blue one, which is the object that I created with vertex colors, and then the black one is the object that I created with the material. So I'm going to select my black stroke here. I want to change the way it looks after I created it, which is pretty neat. So with it selected, I'm going to go into this red square stroke material inside of my library. And down below, I'm simply going to choose Assign. And then voila, it now goes red. So we can change the way our objects look after the fact when using these material presets. And we can create our own and maybe create some really complex materials inside of our scene. Let's do that for us because we're going to change this red one again to something else. Let's create our first material. So as I mentioned before, it comes with 4 different materials already created for us. You can use these or not use them. We're going to create our own. And we do that by, once again, going to this exact same area. And right here, and I know it's small and I apologize for that, there's a little plus sign, which is going to allow us to create our own material. The first step is to hit the plus sign. The second step is to give it a name. Right now, it doesn't have any sort of indicator as to what this material is called. So if we click on the word new, we then can replace the word material with, I don't know, let's just do Pat's color. There we go. Now with the material Pat's color selected, we can see all of its properties downstairs, down below it. And of course, we have 2 major areas that we get to work with. We can change the stroke, which is just really a fancy word for an outline, and we can also change the fill parameters. I think for this one, just to keep it easy, I'm going to have the stroke be green. Let's make it green. Base color is going to go, let's make it just a real nice shade of green. And then I want the inside to be, I don't know, let's do a nice shade of yellow, an orangey yellow. There we go. So it's going to have a green outline and then a yellow interior, okay? Let's apply this color to the selected component. Just want to make sure that my stroke is selected and I can see that it is. And then once again, I'm just going to click this assign button. Boop. Pretty neat, huh? So now we can customize the way our strokes look after the fact, and we can create very complex material setups to give us a pretty powerful look. In addition, we can also reuse these objects or these materials over and over and over again. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to grab this guy, just tuck it out of the way just for the time being, and I want to return to the draw engine once again and create another circle. But this time, I want you to look very, very carefully at this top property bar. Right here is that same library of materials that we were looking at over here on the right-hand side. I can pick and choose a material at creation as well, which is pretty cool. So let me show you. I'm gonna do, let's do dot stroke. Because now when I pull it down, you can see that my stroke is these lovely, wonderful dots, which is pretty neat. Let's confirm it, hit the return key. And as we saw before, maybe I want to reuse this yellow and green material Pat's color that we saw before. Let's return to the edit mode, select the stroke, return to my material library, choose Pat's color from the list, and then finally hit the assign key, and then voila, we've done it. We've created a material, we've applied the material, and now we've created a small little library of reusable materials that we can use on any number of the stroked objects inside of our Blender scene. Materials are a fantastic addition to our entire production process because it allows us to stay consistent and not have to redo the wheel every single time when it comes to colorizing all of our objects. Please use materials. You're going to find me using them all the time. I think they're a great addition to our drawing tools inside of Blender.